Imagine crawling under your truck at dawn, coffee in hand, only to find your brake lines sliced clean like a surgeon's incision, all because your HOA overlord decided your work van offended her community standards. Now picture that same self-righteous tyrant 3 months later, on her knees in your driveway at 2 a.m., shredding her own $50,000 deal in a muddy frenzy, begging you not to call the cops as her empire crumbles. Marcus Riley had always been the quiet type. The kind of guy who fixed things for a living without making waves. At 42, fresh off a divorce that left him with joint custody of his 15-year-old son, Jake, and a battered savings account, he poured everything into a modest split level in Oak Ridge Meadows, a sleepy suburb outside Denver where the lawns were greener than envy and the air smelled like fresh mulch mixed with unspoken resentment. Marcus ran Riley Plumbing Services, a one-man operation that kept hospitals and schools from flooding. And his beat-up Dodge Ram with the company logo was his lifeline. The neighborhood seemed idyllic, kids on bikes, weekend barbecues, the kind of place where folks waved hello but whispered judgments behind closed blinds. HOA fees? $200 a month for upkeep and harmony. Sounded like a steal for some peace. But Marcus, ex-Navy with a knack for spotting structural flaws, sensed the cracks early. He documented everything. A habit from years underwater fixing subs: measure once, verify twice, trust no one blindly. It started innocently enough. Or so it seemed. Day 4 after the move, Marcus was wrestling boxes into the garage when he heard the sharp tap-tap of heels on asphalt. Like a countdown to bureaucracy hell. Enter Barb Kensington, HOA president and self-appointed guardian of Oak Ridge's pristine aesthetic. Picture a woman in her mid-50s. Pearls choking her neck. A Bluetooth earpiece glued like a third ear. And a smile that said bless your heart while plotting your downfall. Mr. Riley, she cooed. Clipboard in hand like a scepter. I'm Barb. And we simply must chat about your vehicle situation. Marcus wiped sweat from his brow, glancing at his Ram parked neatly in the drive. Ma'am, it's my work truck. Gets me to jobs. Barb's eyes narrowed, her voice dripping honeyed venom. Oh. Honey. Section 14.2 clearly prohibits commercial eyesores in residential zones. We wouldn't want to drag down property values. Now would we? Think of the children. Marcus bit his tongue, nodded politely. Inside, he was already pulling up the covenants on his phone. No such section existed. But Barb wasn't done testing, she was warming up. Whispers spread like weeds in Oak Ridge. By week 2, Marcus overheard neighbors at the mailbox cluster. That new guy's truck is a blight, one said, echoing Barb's script. Heard he's got a shady past, ex-wife drama or something. Lies. Of course. But effective. Marcus stayed silent, observing. He installed discreet cams around his property, the kind with audio that backed up to the cloud. Dad, why the spy gear? Jake asked over pizza one night. Marcus ruffled his hair. Just making sure our new start stays new. Kiddo. Then the first fine hit, $100 for improper vehicle storage. Marcus paid it. But not before photographing the envelope and noting the postmark. Barb's game was clear, nickel and dime him into submission. All while preaching community unity at HOA meetings. He attended his first one in the bland community hall that reeked of stale coffee and forced civility. Barb held court from a folding table, her voice booming, we must uphold standards to keep Oak Ridge elite. When Marcus raised a hand about the fine, she waved it off with a chuckle. Newcomers often misunderstand. Dear. Experience teaches best. The room tittered nervously. Marcus noted the empty seats, only a dozen out of 150 homes showed. Later, digging through public records over midnight coffee, he uncovered the dirt: 15 families gone in 4 years. All undesirables in Barb's eyes, immigrants with accents. Single dads like him. Anyone who didn't bow. Barb's playbook: fines. Rumors. Isolation. Marcus smirked in the dark. Got you pegged, lady. Tension simmered, then boiled. Week 5. Marcus came home from a late-night emergency call, a burst pipe at the local ER, to find his yard taped off like a crime scene. Barb stood there with a city inspector. Flashlight beaming like an interrogation lamp. Routine check. Mr. Riley, she trilled. Her pen scratching violations faster than a gambler losing chips. Unauthorized shed, that's $200. Drainage issues, another $150. And those wildflowers? Unapproved flora. Darling. $100 more. The inspector. A sweaty guy named Ed who avoided eye contact. Muttered. Just doing my job. Marcus crossed his arms. Notice? You need 72 hours written warning for entry. Barb's laugh was brittle. Oh. We're all friends here. For the greater good. Jake watched from the window. Fists clenched. That night, Marcus pored over ordinances: illegal entry. Harassment. He filed a quiet complaint with the city, but kept it under wraps. Barb retaliated with social napalm. The neighborhood app lit up, anonymous posts about that plumber bringing down values and rumors of domestic issues. Poor kid. Neighbors who once nodded now averted eyes. Marcus felt the isolation creep in. But he documented every ping. Every snub. Then an ally emerged: old Mrs. Lopez. 76. A widow who'd survived Barb's wrath by keeping low. She slipped him a folder at dusk. She's been at this since the 90s. Me Joe. Faked fines on my late husband till he sold out. Here's proof: ghost expenses in the HOA books. Marcus's eyes widened. $18,000 siphoned over years for consultants that were Barb's shell companies. Funding her golf junkets and enforcement bribes. Why me? He asked. Mrs. Lopez shrugged. You don't bend. She hates that. The pressure cooker hissed louder. Week 7. Marcus's phone rang off the hook, clients canceling. Sorry, Mark. But we heard about code violations at your place. Can't risk it. He traced it back. Barb had cold-called his permit-listed customers. Spinning tales of unreliable service. Revenue tanked 20%. Dad. She's ruining us, Jake said. Voice cracking. Marcus hugged him. Not if we ruin her first. He hired a PI on the cheap. A retired cop named Vic who tailed Barb. Report: golf buddies with inspectors. Lonely nights at the club bar. A husband who slept in the guest room. And jackpot, footage of Barb doctoring photos in her car at 1 a.m. Photoshopping violations onto Marcus's property pics. She's building her own coffin, Vic chuckled. Marcus kept calm. Adding to his dossier. Then the whispers turned vicious. Heard Riley's got anger issues, Navy PTSD or something. Marcus laughed bitterly alone in his garage. Project much? Barb? He countered subtly. Sharing neutral facts on the app: HOA funds audit anyone? Crickets. But seeds planted. Escalation hit fever pitch when Barb went nuclear. Marcus felt the truck's brakes give way on a test drive: spongy. Unresponsive. Heart pounding. He pulled over. Jacked it up in a parking lot. Clean cuts on the lines. Fluid pooling like accusation. Son of a. He checked cams, Barb's Lexus lurking at midnight. A shadowy figure slipping away. No direct proof. But close enough. Rage boiled. But Marcus channeled it. He reported it anonymously to cops. Then dug deeper into property lines with county surveys. Bombshell, Barb's McMansion extended 10 feet onto his lot, illegal encroachment from a remodel she'd bullied 3 years ago. Oh. The irony, he muttered. Barb doubled down. Filing false reports, Riley's harassing me. Cops showed. Skeptical. Ma'am. Evidence? Barb huffed. My word's gold here. Marcus stayed silent. Letting her rope lengthen. Allies grew. 5 neighbors shared stories at a secret backyard meet. She fined me for my kid's swing set, said it clashed, one said. Embezzled our dues for her pool heater, another. Marcus nodded. Time to flip the script. The storm peaked in a whirlwind of revelations. Marcus presented at the next HOA meeting. Folder in hand like a loaded gun. Ladies and gents. Let's talk $18,000 in missing funds. Gasps rippled. Barb's face twisted, surprised to fury. Slander. You're the problem. With your truck and attitude. But eyes shifted, doubt seeded. Post-meeting. Her son. 18-year-old Tyler. Knocked at midnight. Pale as a ghost. Mom's unhinged. She bragged about the breaks, said it'd solved the Riley issue accidentally. Recorded it on my phone. Tyler handed over audio, Barb's voice. Slurred from wine. That plumber's done, who needs him dragging us down? Marcus's blood chilled. But he thanked the kid. You're braver than she knows. With that, he filed charges, attempted murder. Embezzlement. Stalking. Cops raided Barb's home. Finding journals of plots. Stolen mail from Marcus's box, client contracts she'd shredded to sabotage bids. And drugs planted for a frame-up gone wrong. Barb's arrest was poetic, caught mid-rant in her robe. Cuffs clicking as she wailed. This is for the community. Neighbors watched from lawns. Some smirking. Marcus stood back. Watching her facade crack. In the aftermath. Justice rolled like thunder. Barb's trial was a circus, her in orange. Pearls confiscated. Sobbing denials. I was protecting standards. Prosecutor shredded her videos. Audits. Tyler's testimony. Your standards include murder? 4 years prison. $150,000 restitution from her house sale. Marcus reclaimed his land. Planting a garden where her driveway once stole space. Oak Ridge bloomed, new board. Transparent books. Block parties without fear. Marcus's business boomed, clients loved the bully buster plumber. Jake thrived. Volunteering anti-harassment workshops. Mrs. Lopez toasted at a barbecue, to silence broken. Marcus's YouTube side gig. HOA Horror Files, hit 300K subs. Inspiring reforms statewide. Barb? Last seen in prison yard. Clipboardless. Reduced to nagging cellmates about cell standards. Sweet. Petty revenge. Was Marcus the real villain for staying silent so long? Or was Barb's community protection just a mask for her own power trip? Drop your take below. Who's truly wrong here?